You're locked into Hits 92.3. The views, stories, and opinions shared on this program belong solely to the hosts and their guests. They do not represent the views of Hits 92.3 Radio, management, staff, partners, advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. And if you don't know what any of that means, listener discretion is advised. Now sit back, turn up your volumes, and enjoy the content from one of the greatest, dopest radio personalities to ever touch this microphone in 3, 2, 1.
The King Raphael show, where elevation is the expectation. Yo, we got a powerful show for you tonight. It is called Why Are We Sick? Why are we sick, y'all? What's going on with our health in the Black community? Let's jump into it. Let's discuss it, because tonight we're going to ask a question that most people avoid. Yo, it's one of those questions that affect every single one of us. I know, parents that we have, they go through these things, right? Our friends, our family have been sick, have gone through many ailments, and we wish that we can do something more. Well, today we're here to talk about it, because you know what? Good health is, it's not just physically, it's mental, it's emotional, and it's also spiritual. So why are diseases rising in our community? Why are medications increasing but health decreasing? See, we are living in a time where convenience is king, but wellness is dying. Don't believe me? Just ask DoorDash, ask Grubhub. You don't even have to get off your couch. You just sit down, pick up your cell phone, and it will be delivered to you, whatever you want. And the crazy part about it is, it's not even real food. So that's one of the biggest culprits of disease in our bodies. Is actually the food that we eat, or is what we call food. I don't even know how we can call this stuff that we put in our mouths food. So I'm going to call it denatured food, because it's robbing our bodies of nutrients. It's robbing our bodies of vitamins. And it takes a lot of energy, y'all, just to process it, while it's robbing you of your vital energy. Have you ever had the itis? I know I have. After eating a good soul food meal, I got the itis going. Now, what is the itis? It's when you eat heavy and you get real sleepy afterwards. Your eyes get heavy, right? And we've all felt it. Now, the truth is about this level of fatigue is that the energy that is taking for our bodies to digest and process that food has increased, which is making us sleepy, y'all. So we should always understand that food is to give us energy. Food shouldn't make you sleepy. So if you feel sleepy after you eat, that's a sign, right? So just be mindful of that. There is no way that we can eat food and it take away from our life force energy, y'all. It's supposed to add to your vitality. It's supposed to add to your energy. It's even supposed to add to your intellect. But hey, so many of us eating mad cow and wonder why we get mad all the time, right? So we have to think about these things. One of the guys, I got a couple of health people that I love to listen to. One is Dr. Sabi. Another one is Yaki Awakening. He said something on one of his lives that I really found intriguing. It was talking about how food is actually supposed to connect us to the source and actually keep you connected to God, who is energy. That made a lot of sense to me. I was like, you know what? That makes sense to me, because I understand how real food sits in the sun all day and it's downloading information. And when we eat the food, that connects us to the source that's been sitting in the sun all day, that's giving information to our DNA. Now, if you don't believe that the sunlight can give us information, what you think Wi-Fi is? It's information in light waves, right? So yeah, so tonight we're gonna break this all the way down. Probably it's so much information as it comes with our health and illness and disease. We'll probably have to do a part two. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the real causes of disease. We're going to talk about what we're putting in our bodies. We're going to talk about the truth about food, about exercise, and about the mindset. And most importantly, we're going to talk about how to take our power back. Okay? Because the truth is, health is your responsibility. Nobody else can do it for you. You can't go into the gym and just sit and watch somebody else work out and thinking you about to get fit. And furthermore, what you eat don't make me shit. So I got to eat healthy on my own. You got to do it for yourself, y'all. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the truth in numbers, okay? These are real facts, not opinions. So, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, nearly half of Black adults, about 48%, have high blood pressure, which they call hypertension. Now, it's the highest of any racial group in the US. High blood pressure is a major driver of heart disease, of stroke, and kidney failure. Now, according to the American Heart Association, most heart attacks occur on Monday, associated to the stress levels of the work week ahead. Now, I know that's real because when I was younger, my cousin died. He went to work and he had a heart attack and died on the dealership floor on Monday morning. And he was only 43 years old. Stress will kill you. Stress is a disease, y'all. Trust me. And it doesn't stop there. Over 20% of Black adults report have reported being feeling fair or even poor in health. So this means millions of people are thriving with compromised health. They're not they're not even thriving. They're just surviving. So when you look at the bigger picture, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, Black Americans are consistently at a higher risk and a higher risk all across the board, right? So, in fact, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services shows that Black Americans are at a higher risk of heart disease, strokes, diabetes, cancer, asthma, and HIV and AIDS. And that's in comparison to our white American counterparts. So, these are the leading causes of death in America. So, the question is if something is wrong. That ain't the question if something's wrong. The question is, why is it happening? And what can we do about it? So let's look at cancer disparities. According to the CDC in 2025, Black Americans have higher rates of getting and dying from many cancers than any other ethnic group. There's also a diabetes disparity. Black Americans are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes, more than white Americans. What about infectious diseases? Well, the CDC says that Black Americans account for 42% of all HIV, all new HIV diagnoses. That's despite being a smaller percent of the population. This is not random, it's a pattern. And I'm not going to even go far and say it's on purpose, but read between the lines. Food access and quality, y'all. That's a big problem. And when you think about it, why isn't there any Whole Foods in the hood? We know that Whole Food is expensive and it has a nickname of whole check, right? Take your whole check. But living in the hood is super expensive anyway. We pay higher gas prices, right? Our food costs more anyway. Why don't we have a Whole Food? So we have a limited access to better quality of foods in the hood. Also, we have to look at environmental conditions. A lot of times when it's more an impoverished neighborhood, there's a train track running through there. A lot of times there's factories, chemical refineries in the area, which adds to our air quality, which lowers our air quality, right? And then just the stress, y'all, and systemic factors. The stress of being Black alone. Anybody ever got pulled over by the police and their heart almost jumped out their chest? Because you don't know if it's a life or death situation. You almost have a heart attack right there before he even walks to the car, y'all. You can't tell me that black folks don't live a more stressed life. And when we go to work 9 to 5, have to work harder, have to put on the veil, right? Have to position ourselves a certain way just to prove that we are worthy, right? It's so much added stress. We have to work harder just to get less. It's so unfortunate. So we also have a lack of health care. We have lack of access to health care. How many hospitals are in the hood, right? Oh, it's only medical clinics, right? Or those free clinics that you walk into, right? So I'm telling you, and somebody says, not in case of Mondays being a real thing. Monday is being a real thing. People getting sick on Mondays, y'all, heavily. People dread going into the work office. That's one of the messages that just came in, one of the comments. So basically, another thing that's causing us some problems, it's our lifestyle patterns. Yes, our lifestyle. Because you just don't wake up in the morning with HIV. You just didn't yawn and catch it. We have to be very mindful of our lifestyle. These things are taking us out and causing disease in the body. So, in other words, it's not just biology, it's environment, it's behavior, it's systems that are set up against us. So, we got a lot, y'all, to fight through. We got a lot to go through. So, therefore, it isn't just statistics. It's about our families, it's parents, and it's our future. And again, I ask you, what are you going to do about it? We're going to take a break. You're listening to the King Raphael Show. We're coming right back with what's making us sick and why are we sick. Tune in. Stay tuned in. Hi, I'm Professor G, the Airbnb King. When I first started my Airbnb business in 2019, I made a lot of mistakes. I really needed a mentor, but one mistake I didn't make was giving up. And since I didn't give up, 18 months later, I cleared my first six-figure income, which allowed me to quit my lucrative job as being a college professor at Spelman College and do this full time, and I never looked back. Since then, I've acquired properties in Atlanta, such as downtown, Midtown, Buckhead, even moved over to the West End, became the Airbnb King, got more confidence, started buying properties in Miami. Ever since then, I knew skies was the limit and Monopoly was the game for me. So believe in yourself. You will and you can win at this game. Book with the Airbnb King. We're gonna make some silent moves, but loud results.
Hey, the secret's out. Hits 92.3 is now accepting submissions for brand new shows. That's right, you could become a radio personality right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. You don't have experience? That's okay. You don't live in Georgia? That's okay. You don't know what to do now? Now that's not okay. But your girl is here to help you out. Email us today at hits923newshow@gmail.com and tell us about your potential show with Hits. Again, that email address is hits923newshow@gmail.com. Don't be last. The slots are filling fast.
Everybody, welcome back to the King Raphael Show, where elevation is the expectation. Today, we're talking about why are we sick? What's going on? Why is there a pattern? Why are we in 2026 where all the medicines are getting better, technology is getting better, but yet our health is still decreasing and getting worse? What's going on, y'all? As Marvin Gaye would say. All right. So let's talk about the real cause of disease. Okay. Let's start here. Most people think that sickness just happens, but I'm here to tell you that often disease is created. Now, let's break down the word disease. What is that saying? It's dis-ease. Dis-ease, meaning that the body is not at ease. So your body is always communicating with you, whether if you know it or not, in conscious and unconsciously. It's always communicating with you, giving you signs. But a lot of times we have so many distractions because we're on Instagram. A lot of times it's something good on TV or something good on our fork, right? Or somebody we're talking to. We don't have time because we got to go to work. We're driving, stuck in traffic. We don't have time to pay attention to our body. But our body is always communicating with you. Pain. When you feel pain, that's your body communicating with you. When you're sleepy and you feel fatigue all the time, that's your body communicating with you. When there's inflammation in your body, that's your body communicating with you. But instead of listening, even if we do hear something, what do? We silence it with pills. And here's the problem. We've been trained to treat symptoms instead of addressing the root causes. See, we've been trained to when we have a cough, which a cough is actually your body's way of eliminating something, right? Of expelling something. What do? We go give it some cough suppressant so we can stop coughing, which does not heal the body, it only masks symptoms. Y'all, don't suppress your cold. We have to stop out of that mindset of suppressant therapy and really learn about our bodies and get into the root of things. You see, Western medicine is based on suppression, and we need to get all the way up out of that, y'all. So it's about making sure that your body is alkaline, okay? And that elimination is taking place daily. There's a lot of ways elimination can take place. First, let's talk about one of the biggest organs on your body, which is the skin. The skin is a major zone for elimination. How does your body eliminate toxins through the skin? Sweat. But we don't like to sweat, do we? Ew, sweat, ew. But you're supposed to sweat, right? And a lot of times when your body and your system is backed up, your body will let toxins out for you. It'll start releasing waste all on your face. It's called acne, right? So our body is letting us know, and it's eliminating all the time. Now, what do we do to our skin? Put poisons on it. We put toxins on it called lotion. And it's so many things in lotion that I'm gonna tell you this. You put it on your skin and it goes into your bloodstream, but you won't put it in your mouth. And if you do put it in your mouth, you might have to call poison control. See, if you can't eat it, don't take it, right? If you can't put it in your mouth, we probably shouldn't be taking it because it goes in our bloodstream anyway. Okay. So you have to really, really keep that in mind, y'all. So let's talk about this. The truth is, your body just doesn't turn acid from food alone. Well, let me go back. Let me go back, y'all. I need to talk to y'all about acid because one thing we don't understand is a term called acidosis, and we're going to get into it. See, if you want optimal health, you need to be living on the alkaline side of things, but a lot of us are living on the acidic side of things. So it's about making sure that your body is more alkaline so that you don't get sick in the first place. So I've learned that disease cannot live in an alkaline body. So, but for most parts, since we're so acidic by the lifestyle that we live, it's really hard. And your body balances this. So your body just doesn't turn acidic from food alone. What actually happens is certain habits and conditions create a higher acidic load, forcing your body to work harder to balance it all out. So what causes this increased acid load in the body? Poor diet, the fast foods, the checkers, the in and outs, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, right? All the stuff that we love to eat is really messing us up and causing more acid in the body, causing acidosis. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar. That's what the parasites love to eat. That's what it craves. All the sodas, the artificial drinks are tearing our bodies up, y'all. And large amounts of processed meats. Let me tell you right now, if nature didn't make it, don't take it. Y'all got that? If nature didn't make it, don't take it. So these things that I just mentioned, they don't instantly acidify your blood, but they increase the metabolic process your body must neutralize, creating more acid. So you got to understand this, that big bacteria eats acids. So the more acid that's in your body creates the condition called acidosis. You see, you got to understand there's systems in your body, there's cells in your body, and your cells in your body, they poop and they pee as well. And when they do these things, there's something in your body called the lymphatic system. See, that poop and pee creates toxins and acids, right? And the lymphatic system carries all of the metabolic waste from the cells away. But the only way this lymphatic system will move the metabolic waste is through movement, is through exercise, because it's a manual system. You have to move the body. But a lot of times when we're stiff and we're stagnant and we become couch potatoes, then all of the food and metabolic waste pile up in your gut. It piles up in your colon, right? It piles up in those things. And when you have more bacteria in your body, the overload of bacteria is there for a reason. It's there to eat the acid, y'all. And we have to understand that our bodies create natural acid. So we don't need to add on to the acid that it's already creating. Understand, when you're breathing, when your body's working, when it's breathing and creating carbon dioxide, it's leaving metabolic waste behind, right? And the lymphatic system, it moves it out of your body because that creates an acid. Even when your heart is pumping, that creates an acid that goes into the lymphatic system that has to be moved away. So we don't want to add to the acid that our body is already creating. Oh, y'all understand that? All right, y'all. So I know this may be a new term for some people. I'm gonna keep saying it. Acidosis. What is acidosis? So acidosis is when your body becomes too acidic, meaning that the blood pH drops below normal range, which is about 7.35 to 7.45. Now that balance, it is critical. Now, your body is designed to stay slightly alkaline, but when it shifts too far acidic, systems start to break down. See, it's all about your blood. And when your blood drops below a certain level, that's what's considered acidosis. And there are two main types of this. It's metabolic acidosis, which causes too much acidic production or not enough removal. That's why elimination is very important. So this is also linked to poor diet, diabetes, and kidney issues. The second type is respiratory acidosis, which is caused by not getting enough carbon dioxide out of your body, that CO2. So that's why exercise is important. Breathing exercise is very important. We got to release that CO2 from the body. These things are linked to lung problems and shallow breathing. Now, some symptoms, what people feel. They feel fatigue when they have acidosis. They feel confusion or brain fog, right? Sometimes rapid breathing, a lot of headaches. And you ever get a lot of headaches and you wonder why? It's because your body is not on the alkaline side. You may be suffering from acidosis to people who have severe chronic headaches. And a lot of times you may feel weak. You may walk up the stairs and just don't feel the best, right? So severe causes can become life threatening, but a mild imbalance can show up in low energy and chronic stress on the body. Now, remember, diet can influence the acid load or how hard your body has to work to stay balanced. So, your diet is very important. So your foods, y'all, remember, I'm going to say this again because repetition is the mother of learning. It's those processed foods. It's those excess in sugars. It's all those sodas that you drink. It was one of the worst things that you can drink, y'all. And it's also those processed meats. Now, if you want to understand what alkaline food is, those are your leafy greens. Those are your vegetables. Those are your fruits and the berry kingdom, right? That's the good spring water that you're drinking. Those are alkaline supporting foods to get your blood on the right pH balance. And the right pH balance in your blood is what causes health. That's why when doctors want to know what's wrong with you or if something is wrong with you, what do? They draw your blood. You see, everything is in the blood. Life and death is not only in the power of the tongue, but it's in the blood. The disease is in the blood. There's power in the blood. So you got to take care of your blood, y'all. You have to really treat it like it's liquid gold because that's what it is. Now, to summarize this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to bring it back to y'all because I know I may be going fast. Let me break this down. Acidosis is when the body becomes too acidic and when your internal balance is off. Now, your body is designed to regulate itself, but when you constantly feed it processed food or sugar and stress, we can't forget about that stress. It has to work overtime to stay balanced, and that's what drains us, y'all. It's almost like a light bulb. Sometimes, if the voltage is too high and it's overshining, and one day the filament goes out. That's exactly what happens to you and your body. So the question isn't just what you're eating. The question is, what environment are you creating inside your body? The next thing we have to think about, y'all, is chronic stress. The stress is a lot, y'all. You're not just eating acidic. You can be living acidic. You can be living an acidic life. Now, what's causing stress a lot of the times? It's your environment. Sometimes it could be your family life. Sometimes it's your job. For a lot of people, it's all that traffic that we stuck in on 285 and 75 right in Atlanta. We get very stressed out and people have road rage, right? So there's a lot of causes to stress. And the thing that I want you to understand, a lot of times stress is very mental. See, we can choose to have a good day or we can choose to have a bad day, regardless of what happens to us. And once we start getting deep into the conversations, y'all, we got to understand that the way we think is a part of our health. You can think health, but you can also think in ways that will harm your body and cause dis-ease. And that's what stress does to us. Stress are those negative thoughts that cause disease in the body. A lot of times we can't forgive people. A lot of times we can't get over past relationships. And those things, those thoughts hang within our body and hang within our minds. And what it does, it creates toxic because those are toxic thoughts. Those are acidic thoughts. And those toxic thoughts create tumors in the body. Those thoughts create cancers in the body that hold the metabolic waste, right? This is what's going on with us, y'all, but we really don't realize it because we're not taught this in school. And that's a crime, but yet they want to teach us geometry, things that we'll never use, and algebra. I'm not knocking math. Only one I'm just talking math, but they teach us things that we never use instead of things about life, y'all. Chronic stress is one of the things that's killing our people. So we have to really think about it. Another thing that's really taking us out is lack of exercise. Because remember, exercise is everything. We got to increase our circulation, right? So the blood can flow, so our lymphatic system can move, so our glymphatic system can move, right? It is a process. And when we don't exercise and move our body, it causes slower removal of metabolic waste. You see, movement help clears the acidity effectively. That's why just being so comfortable at home becomes a problem. That's why I mentioned Grubhub, right? And DoorDash. And we don't even have to get off our couch to go get something. And we can hit Amazon up and they'll have it there the next day, right? We ain't even got to go to the movies. We just watch Netflix. Your comfort becomes your prison, right? And acidity becomes dangerous and becomes diagnosable, y'all. So we have to be very mindful. Another thing I just want to mention to you, y'all, is get your water in you. So water helps to buffer and flush acids. And low hydration creates a buildup of waste products. It doesn't give a chance to flush it out. So what I do with my water is I go to Indian Springs Creek out in Flow Villa, Georgia, and I get free spring water. And that water has dozens of minerals in it. And one of the minerals is sulfur. You can smell it. It smells like rotten eggs almost, but it goes away after a couple of days. But I like to drink it smelling like that because I feel like it's at its highest potency. Water is very important to the body. Remember, our bodies are electrical, y'all. So we have to be very mindful of what we give it. So that's why I say, y'all, we got to give it the best that we can possibly give it. So, what it really comes down to is not just one thing, it's a lifestyle accumulation. It's all about what you eat, how you move, how you breathe, and how you manage stress. Highly important how you manage stress. So let me go here. Let me give you one of the top contributors to illness and disease in the body. It's those toxins. And a lot of us can't get the toxins out of our body. So when you have a lot of toxins in the body, your body goes out of balance with your immune system. Your immune system becomes weakened. Okay. So when this happens, your body can't fight off any viruses or bacteria that you pick up, thus making you more sick. Now, a lot of times, why do you have more bacteria? Because you're more acidic. And the bacteria, a lot of times, is actually there to help you. It's actually there to eat more of the acidity to help your lymphatic system get all that metabolic waste out that you are not releasing. But we know that too much bacteria can cause havoc on the body as well. But that's your body's way of trying to balance itself, y'all. So now you have an environment that is very likely to create illness and disease. So if you want to be healthy, be alkaline, be on the alkaline side of things. But if you want to remain sick, shoot, keep eating what you're eating, keep thinking what you're thinking, keep drinking what you're drinking, right? And those things will do it. So to expand on my point, y'all, about toxins in the body, you always got to remember this. It's about what goes in the body and it's about what comes out of the body. How many times do you poop a day? You see, we were taught to eat 3 meals a day. Now, as I'm older, I know that's a lie, especially the type of food that we eat and the food combinations. We don't understand that different food combinations that we put together in our body takes our body longer to process and digest because it got to break each thing down separately. Some food combinations do not belong together in our body, which is also causing dis-ease. So every time you eat a meal, that is supposed to be digested and it's supposed to come out of you the same day. But I know many of y'all are thinking right now, well, how many times do I poop a day? If I even poop that day, right? Many of us, it takes 2 days to poop, 3 days, which means that meals are piling up in our body. And those things are being caught and held in your colon. And you wonder why years later you have colon cancer. Have any of you ever had a colon cleanse before? I know I have. I had a colon cleanse and it's really interesting. You can see the yeast coming out. You can see green stuff coming out. Stuff that's been in your body for years, just sitting in there, rotten. Think about that sitting in there rotten. And it's crazier to think that it's sitting in there rotten, and a lot of food that we're eating is already rotting anyway because we're eating dead flesh. It's not the fruit that's in there rotten for years that's stuck in there, right? It's not those vegetables that's in there stuck. It's the McDonald's fries that was found on your car seat, right? For years later and never molded or anything, right? It's those hamburgers. It's those things that never fully processed in your body that refuse to eliminate itself. And that's why you may only use the bathroom, you know, twice or 3 times a week as far as taking a bowel movement. Our bodies are not regular. And these are the things that are causing dis-ease in our bodies, y'all. And then we take in a lot of salt. I know my people, we love salt. I know I do. We love salt, but salt is one of the leading contributors to hypertension. So we have to be very mindful of that. And then if you're taking in all this salt and you're not going to the gym, you're not exercising, and you're not sweating, then your body is not releasing a lot of that salt. So your body is only supposed to take in 5 milligrams of salt. After that 5 milligrams, guess what it does? Because it uses that 5 milligrams, but after that, it releases the rest of the salt into your bloodstream. Now, your blood is trying to work harder to remove it. Your heart is starting to work harder to remove the excess salt, which is increasing the pressure. That's how we get high blood pressure. And that's why proper exercise can help you reduce it, because proper exercise also reduces your stress. I know my people, my gym heads know what I'm talking about. You feel good after you done went to the gym, right? You feel better after you've gone to the gym. You feel like a release. They call it exercise, and I believe the word exercise comes from the word exorcist. You know what an exorcism is? Getting it out of you, getting that demon out of you, right? Getting it out of you. Exercise, move your body. When you exercise regularly, I guarantee you this, you're going to have a good night's sleep. You're going to sleep well. That's why rest is so important, y'all. One of the reasons why our bodies are so toxic and we suffer from acidosis because we don't get the rest that we truly need. You need to at least get those 8 hours of sleep. With all the stress we have going on, that's when your body works its magic at night. You heard when you were younger, when you sleep, your body grows at night. When you sleep, your body repairs at night. But a lot of us don't want to get any sleep. We don't get full enough sleep. We have work to do. We have things on our mind. So there's a difference between sleep and rest. Just because you go to sleep or lay in your bed early doesn't mean that you're resting well, right? You need or sleeping well, you need good sleep other than rest. But a lot of us are tossing and turning at night because our brain is still operating. Our brain is still functioning. We have so many thoughts, or we have so many things that we're stressed out about from this life. And we don't get a chance to really go into deep sleep. But deep sleep is how your body repairs itself. Deep sleep is how the cells regenerate themselves. Deep sleep is you being a battery and putting yourself on a charger. Now, everybody know what happens in the morning when you forget to put your phone on the charger. When you wake up the next day, you got 30 or 40%, and now you got to go to work, and now you got things to do, but your battery is half there. And before 5 o'clock, your phone is dead. It's the same way with us. When we get lack of sleep, our bodies do not recharge. And then guess what? Before the day is over, we done with. Our energy level is low. And we like, man, whatever. I need a nap. But too many of us are too busy to even take a nap in the middle of the day. That nap in the middle of the day is you putting yourself on the charger and regenerating, because your cells need to be regenerated. Your body needs regeneration, and it gets it with proper sleep. This is one of the things that will help you to fight dis-ease. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, the next thing you got to really be mindful of are your thoughts. What you say. What you say can cause dis-ease on the body. Yes, your thoughts can be positive, or your thoughts can really be toxin to yourself. So we always got to be mindful of that. That's why every day I say, Raphael, I love you. I really do. And I mean that. Say you love yourself to yourself. If you're driving in your car right now, say, hey, I love you. Because guess what? To love yourself, it is a lifetime of romance. There are many people in this life that don't even hear the words, I love you. And love is a preserving force. Love is one of the strongest things in this universe. We all need love. And if no better person to love is than yourself, love yourself and love yourselves. You caught that? It's a trillion of them inside of you, and they're all electric. That's why we have to feed it things that promote electricity. Love is a good thing to feed your cells. It's your thoughts. But when you have negative thoughts all day, oh, I ain't about nothing, or I can't do this, or I'm not a good speaker, or I'm not good at this, your body starts to believe you and your body starts to move in it. Oh, I don't like to work out. Well, then you won't, right? Mentality is everything. Your mindset is everything. That's why you have to reform your identity. That's why when we're talking about pillars of the house, identity was one of them because it's a part of your mindset. It's a part of your wellness. I know for me personally, I'm at my high school weight. I weigh, and I'm a grown man, right? I weighed this much in high school. And the only reason why I am because of my mindset. I've shifted up my mindset. I've shifted up my lifestyle. There are some things that I say no to, and that is a part of my discipline, right? Okay, I see my boy Deshaun Marks is listening. Love yourself and love yourselves. I love that. Thank you, Deshaun Marks. Appreciate that. That's my brother right there. But yeah, man, let me tell y'all, you have to, you have to really pay attention to your body. And the reason why I'm the same size as high school, it wasn't always like that. There was a time when I was eating fast food and I was a lot heavier. You can see it in my face. But now I'm intentional about what goes in my mouth. I'm intentional about what I say no to. I'm intentional about my discipline. Every day I intermittent fast. And what that means is when I wake up in the morning, I don't eat anything. I may drink some good old natural spring water, but I don't eat a thing. I wait until the sun is at its highest point in the sky, when it's at this highest energy level, which is 12 noon. And then at that time, that's when I'll eat one of my most heaviest meals. And eating at that time is so that I have all the rest of the day to digest it, right? I eat the heaviest meal, the earliest I have all day, and the energy level is at the highest. But what have we been taught? To eat our dinner after the sun goes down, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Now we eating dinner, 9 o'clock. Many families are eating dinner before bed when the sun is down. But animals don't do that. Watch nature. Nature is your best teacher. Animals don't do that at all. A lot of times when you're eating late at night, you don't give your body much time to digest the food. And actually, what you're doing is sleeping on the food when what you should be doing is waiting 30 minutes, let it digest, and then you should be moving, exercise, take a walk. Give your body an opportunity. But no, we want to go to sleep on that meal. And we wonder why we waking up fat. Like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. You think it's just age. Age don't have everything to do with it. I'm telling you, it's your mindset. It's what we don't know, and it's what we don't know. So I'm here to encourage you, y'all, to get your body alkaline over this acidosis, acidic body. You're listening to the King Raphael Show. We're about to take a break, and we're coming right back with what's making us sick. Hey, have you ever been at work on a Monday morning behind your desk wondering, what am I doing with my life? Well, I wanted that same question as well. So what I did was I created a business around the lifestyle that I truly wanted. And for me, that's really about travel. So I wanted to make the beach my office, and that's exactly what I did. I can work from anywhere around the world with my customizable Airbnb business. So let me show you how to do it for yourself. So let me help you create an Airbnb business that will sustain you for the rest of your life and sustain your children, right? Let me show you how to automate your business so that it's on cruise control. Let me show you how to fly under the radar if you need. I can also teach you how to get Airbnb properties with no money down. Yes, no money down. See, many people don't think that they can get in business because they don't think that they have the funds. But you really don't need it. What's more important is the information. So join the workshop. I have a team of super hosts that will be right there that will help you start your listing the same day. Now that's powerful. All right, so we're giving out the information. So come to the workshop, click the link below, or DM me, and I can provide you all the information. Why am I or why are we sick, especially as a community? We've talked about we talked about solutions, y'all, because awareness without action changes nothing. So if you want to stop being sick, we got to start living differently. So remember to be intentional about what you eat. Remember to move daily. Remember to protect your mind. Remember to manage your stress. Remember to drink more water. Remember to take ownership. Stop blaming all the systems and stop waiting on doctors, right? Your health is your responsibility because at the end of the day, you can have all the money, all the success, all the status, but if you don't have your health, you ain't got nothing. And your health is what really matters. But a lot of times we don't have nothing because we're not willing to give nothing. We're not willing to sacrifice anything. That's this modern age. What are you willing to sacrifice? You got to think about that. You got to be able to stand on it. I know personally, for me and my faith, y'all, I remember COVID-19, which was a global pandemic. I was one of those no maskers. And the reason why I always say, back to what I talked about earlier about what you tell yourself and what you speak over yourself, right? I would always say, I can't get sick. I can't get sick. I don't get sick. And I stand on it and I believe it. It's been a long time since I've been sick, y'all. Let me go ahead and tell you, it's been years since I haven't even caught the flu probably since a freshman in college. Like, it's been that long. I don't get sick. So I speak that over my life and I do things to support that. So when COVID-19 came, everybody getting sick, right? So I made a decision. I said, you know what? This is very scary. And it's a global pandemic. And I know people are getting sick. And I'm hearing all these numbers of people that are dying. But if I truly believe what I say, if I truly have faith on it, I'm going to stand on it. So I was that person going in grocery stores when everybody had a mask on. I didn't. I felt like I was breathing cleaner air anyway. But people were looking at me strange. Like, looking at me weird because I'm the only one don't have a mask on. I guess like I'm gonna make you sick or something. But I didn't wear a mask. Only time I wore a mask is when I was forced to wear a mask flying on an airplane. But other than that, I was wearing no mask everywhere I went because I stood on my faith that I couldn't get sick, and that was my time to test it. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea what was going to happen to me, but I just felt I couldn't get sick. I had to stand on it, even if it meant my death. I took my faith and stood on it. And you know what? I never caught COVID. I remember sitting playing next to my cousin playing chess. A few days later, she said she had COVID. I didn't catch it. I guess I could not get sick because I stood on my faith. But see, I was willing to sacrifice something for that. Whatever it took, whatever was coming my way, I was willing to accept it because I was willing to sacrifice it for my faith and what I believed. I had to show my body that I believe what I stood on. I stand on faith. So I want to leave you with something that's real deep, y'all. What are you willing to sacrifice? You see, sacrifice has a cost. It costs pain. It's discipline. It costs your time. And sometimes it feels like you're losing something, or you could lose something. You could lose your life sacrificing, but it's a shift in your perspective. Even even though even though y'all sacrifice seems like loss, the truth is it's not loss. Real sacrifice produces life. Just look at Jesus Christ. He was sacrificed, but what did he leave behind? Power, purpose, the Holy Spirit, and eternal life. That wasn't lost. We gained it. He lost his life so that we may have everlasting life. He sacrificed his life so that we may live more abundantly. And that was the greatest exchange and sacrifice in human history. And yet today, our mortality rates are rising. Disease is increasing. Our bodies are breaking down. not because of lack of knowledge, but because of discipline and sacrifice. So let me give you just a little bit bigger of a picture, y'all. I knew this guy, and he was overweight. He was unhealthy, and the doctor told him, if you don't change your lifestyle, you won't be here to see your children grow up. Now, at that moment, he had to make a decision. See, it wasn't about information, but it was about sacrifice. He had to sacrifice late eating. He had to sacrifice his comfort. He had to sacrifice the laziness. He had to sacrifice old habits. And in the beginning, you know it hurt. You know it was painful. Waking up early to go exercise, that was pain. Walking long distances, working out, that was pain. Saying no to what he used to love, that was pain. But over time, that man gained something. He gained energy. He gained strength. He gained confidence. And he gave more time and gained more life with his family. So what looked like loss in the beginning became life in the end. So here's the truth. Either way, you're going to suffer. The pain of discipline or the pain of disease. The pain of sacrifice or the pain of regret. So the question I have for you tonight is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Temporary pleasure for long-term health? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for growth? Are you willing to sacrifice who you are today to become who you were called to be for tomorrow? Because that's your future. And it's the other side of sacrifice. I hope y'all learned something today, because elevation is the expectation. You're listening to the King Raphael Show. And remember to keep your faith higher than your fear and your purpose stronger than your pain. Until next time we elevate together, I'm King Raphael. Stay blessed and stay smooth. Hi, I'm Professor G, the Airbnb King. When I first started my Airbnb business in 2019, I made a lot of mistakes. I really needed a mentor, but one mistake I didn't make was giving up. And since I didn't give up, 18 months later, I cleared my first six-figure income, which allowed me to quit my lucrative job as being a college professor at Spelman College and do this full time, and I never looked back. Since then, I've acquired properties in Atlanta, such as downtown, Midtown, Buckhead, even moved over to the West End, became the Airbnb King, got more confidence, started buying properties in Miami. Ever since then, I knew skies was the limit and Monopoly was the game for me. So believe in yourself. You will and you can win at this game. Book with the Airbnb King. We're gonna make some solid moves, but loud results.